So what was that like? The days leading up to it, not knowing what was going to happen. How stressful was that, and what was that like?
I mean, it was stressful because you just don't know which way they're going to lean in that room. You know, you don't know, and there's so many good players on that finalist list. You know, look at the guys. A lot of guys are finalists this year, were finalists last year as well. So it's just so hard to know which way they're leaning. You know, we didn't win a Super Bowl, so that I felt like that was working against me. But man, once we got that knock on Saturday night, all that went away. Just exciting.
What's that moment like when you get that knock? What's that moment like?
So I think it's more relief than anything for me. You know, and obviously you never expect to get in there, but I thought maybe eventually I might get in, but you never think first ballot or I didn't at least. But it was just relief and it just jubilation. My family was excited. I was excited. It was great.
Brian Urlacher is a Hall of Famer. He joins me on Radio Row. You know, you're somebody who always wanted to be known as a good teammate. That was the most important thing for you. You want to be a good teammate. So what's it like when you're told that not only are you a good teammate, you're one of the greatest players to ever play in that league? How did that feel?
Well, it's an honor. You know, my goal wasn't to make it to the Hall of Fame. When I played, I just love football. I want to be out there. It was a great job to have. I love going to work with my teammates every day. But yeah, to have both those things, I look up to my teammates. Like I said, I love going to work every day. It was so fun. You get to hang out with 50 of your best friends every day for 10 hours. We're in the locker room screwing around. We're messing around in practice. So those are the things I missed the most when I retired. Was just that connection to those guys is gone right away.
I was going to say, it's got to be so strong, man. When you figure out the price that you guys pay physically, mentally, emotionally, the grind, the sacrifice, all the work, I don't know how you couldn't have bonds like that. They'd probably last a lifetime, but when you're no longer in it, is there any way to replace that?
Yeah.
What do you do with the rest of your life?
Yeah, you got to find things. That's why I think guys have a hard time when they retire. Is they're just everything they're used to and their routine is gone. That was hard for me because of the routine. I'm a routine guy. I love being in my routines, my breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever it is, or workout, whatever. And football, you don't have a choice. It's just structure, man. Because as a football player, you grow up with structure. Whether it's high school, college, or NFL, your whole year is laid out for you. Whether it's the season or off season, you have stuff to do. And that changed right away when I retired. And plus, all the people that I've been around the last 13 years were gone. So that all that disappeared, and just trying to adjust to something different was tough there for a while.
You know, so, and all of a sudden, I would imagine there are probably some mornings where you wake up like, damn, what should I do today?
Yeah, it's like, well, usually when I played, it was wake up, you got to go to the gym, you got to work out. And then I wake up, as I retired, I was like, well, you don't have to do anything if you don't want to. You know, once your kids go out to school or get them settled in, I don't have to do anything. So once I got past all that initial kind of shock of not having a job, I settled in pretty quick.
Brian Urlacher joining me now. Let's be straight about one thing. There are perks and there are bennies to being in the NFL. As an example, you mentioned this in your enshrinement speech. Bennies like on Thursday, Oreo Donut Balls Day.
Oh, white balls.
What did the guys do for the white balls? How important was that?
So Jim, we would go. So Thursday, they get there like 9:30 or 10. They'd show up in the film room there. We'd go in there. I'd be the first one down there. I'd take a bathroom break and get because the balls disappeared quick. So I go down there and get me 3 or 4 white balls and hide them around in Dean's desk there so I can have them after I ate my lunch. But man, the stuff that we had access to and the food that they would make for us was unbelievable. We were lucky.
How do you eat now?
Terrible. But I shouldn't say that. I eat better than I did when I played. But so I just like food, man. But now if I want to eat bad, I just work out more. So I just spend more time working out.
You look great. I was going to say you look great. I saw Carson Palmer. I said, what are you doing in the gym? He was great. He's like, I'm not going in. That's what I'm doing. And made no apology for it. And was very matter of fact. I'm not doing it. I'm not going in. I don't miss it. I'm good.
I played golf with Carson 2 weeks ago here over in Orlando. But I started mountain biking, and I do that 5-6 days a week out in Arizona. Close to my house, there's some mountains, so I do that. I may lift 2 or 3 days a week. That's not my priority. I don't really care about lifting. I just love riding my bike. It's like therapy for my mind. Just get out there, pedaling for a couple hours, and go home.
Brian Urlacher is joining us right now. Something else you mentioned, some of your teammates, the guys who had the greatest influence on you. Charles Tillman was a guy that you pointed out. Yeah. What was it like playing with Peanut?
Fun. All those guys, Lance, Charles, any of those guys from those years of the defense, Lil Vash, Hester, it was just fun, man. We had a good time going to work, and you know, we got our work in practice. That's for damn sure. We go out there and practice hard, and it was cool to watch Peanut kind of progress over his career from a guy, you know, second round draft pick, and then he created the football, the peanut punch. I mean, guys are trying to do that now. Every corner you see is trying to get that ball out, and that's because of Peanut. You look at his caused fumbles. He's up there with D. Lyman in career caused fumbles. It's crazy.
So when you watch that team this year, the Bears, are you feeling, man? Are you feeling like a year from right now when you and I come together, we might be talking about the Bears getting ready to play in this game?
100%. This year I thought it was going to be the year too. You know, that defense travels. That's the thing about them. You've seen what that defense can do when they're healthy. They had like 39, 40 takeaways this year, 5 or 6 defensive touchdowns. It's good to see them back where they need to be. And Coach Nagy's got the offense rolling. They're doing a good job. Mitch is going to get better and better every season under Coach Nagy. So I think they're definitely going in the right direction.
What do you make Khalil Mack like from the Raiders standpoint? Their thing is like, you know what? We can't pay a defensive player that kind of money and a quarterback. Do you feel like they're devaluing, and maybe they're not the only ones, but devaluing defensive excellence?
It showed this year. I mean, you look at what Khalil, the impact he had on the Bears, and they were good before he got there, don't get me wrong, but the impact he made on them was huge. And I mean, we got him for 2 first-round picks. And so they sent back a second-round pick to us and Khalil Mack for 2 first-round picks. The first-round pick, you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to get a generational player like Khalil.
I was going to say, I know what you're not going to get. You're not going to get Khalil Mack, and they had Khalil Mack.
I mean, he should be, if he keeps it up, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. You're not going to get a guy like that in the first round. I mean, he's a generational player, once every 25-year type of guy. Just I don't see it happening with a first-round pick.
So when you look at that guy and you look at Hicks and you look at that defense, does that feel like one of those great Bears defenses that upholds the standard?
For sure. And look at their secondary. Eddie Jackson, Kyle Fuller, Prince Amukamara was back there doing a good job too. And their linebackers, Roquan and Danny Trevathan, I could go on and on, all the guys, but they all played so well and they play well together. It may be a little different next year for a little bit because they got new DC. Coach Pagano's there now. Coach Fangio left. So maybe a little different there early on. But I think once they get it figured out with the new defense, they're going to be lights out again.